Bitcoin and Ethereum, right now at $27,000 and $700 respectively. Let's talk price potential. Let's start with Bitcoin, digital gold. See, the market cap of physical gold is $9 trillion, meaning the entire supply of physical gold is priced at $9 trillion today. Bitcoin is being recognized as Gold 2.0, as a store of value. If Bitcoin disrupts gold, then that means it would take a market cap of $9 trillion and have a price per coin be $500,000 per Bitcoin. Tyler Winklevoss explains this.
What do you think needs to happen to go from 20,000 to eventually getting to 500,000?
So I think it's just more time and education and more data points. But how I get to 500,000, it's very simple math. The market cap of gold is 9 trillion. So the entire supply of gold is priced at 9 trillion. If Bitcoin is Gold 2.0 and it disrupts gold, then its market cap also has to be 9 trillion. But today, Bitcoin's market cap is 330 billion. So it's got to increase somewhere like 25 to 30x from here.
Yep.
So put on a 25 to 30x multiple on the price of a Bitcoin today, which is, let's say, 18,000, 20,000. That easily gets you to $500,000 a Bitcoin. So if we're right that Bitcoin is better than gold, and the way we get to that is we look at the characteristics of why people find gold valuable. It's scarce, it's portable, it's divisible. Bitcoin's better than scarce. It's fixed. You can send it like email. You can divide a Bitcoin into 100 million pieces. So across the board, all of the reasons why humanity has found gold valuable for the last multi-millennia, Bitcoin beats it. So it should be worth as much or more than gold. And for that to happen, a Bitcoin has to be worth $500,000 a Bitcoin.
By the way, that is only if Bitcoin is a gold disruptor. If Bitcoin is both a gold disruptor and a currency disruptor, then Bitcoin's price would actually be higher than $500,000. Tyler Winklevoss explains this.
If Bitcoin just becomes a mature, better store of value, I think we see 500,000 a Bitcoin. If it's also used as a currency, there's efforts like the Lightning Network and other sidechain projects. If you can also use Bitcoin as a currency, the value actually goes up much higher. If it can be both a store of value and a way for a currency to work on the network.
Are you following this? Because I want to get to Ethereum in just a second, but so you fully understand, if Bitcoin is only seen as a reliable store of value, it would reach a price point of $500,000 per coin. If Bitcoin goes beyond that and is seen as both a store of value and a widespread medium of exchange as a currency, its value would be even higher than that. If Bitcoin is eventually seen as a full global money, the global reserve currency of the world, then a $500,000 Bitcoin starts to seem very conservative indeed. Tyler Winklevoss explains this.
There are other instances too where Bitcoin itself, the network, could be like the substrate of other networks, and just the security of it, it would basically become like the digital global reserve currency of all crypto.
Yep.
Then it's even higher. So when I say $500,000 a Bitcoin, that's actually the conservative case. It could easily be a couple times more, or even order of magnitude more. And by the time it gets there, like, you're never selling your Bitcoin. I was listening to this podcast and they were joking about like this Bitcoin meme of the Matrix, and like, you know, when Bitcoin gets to like 1 million, like, you won't have to sell it, kind of thing. Morpheus and Neo, like, Neo's like, what happens when it gets to 1 million? It's like, you won't have to sell it.
So you understand everything we just went over, correct? Today's Bitcoin market cap is about 500 billion. Today's gold market cap is about 9 trillion, meaning that you would need to increase 20x from here to take gold's market cap. So with Bitcoin being about $25,000 per coin, 25,000 multiplied by 20 equals 500,000 per Bitcoin. Let's talk about Ethereum's price potential now. Listen very closely as to what Tyler Winklevoss has to say regarding Ethereum. Especially, listen at the end. He gives his prediction.
Ether is the same thing for indexing a piece of the Ethereum network, which is a digital or decentralized global computer. A lot of people equate Ether to digital oil. So if you want to get into the crypto game, my suggestion is own some Bitcoin, digital gold, and own some Ether, digital oil. And with those, you have most of your bases covered.
Love that. And with Ether, I know it's, not as talked about in the media, but when it comes to the predictions of where Ether can go and how it's utilized and where it could be from a price perspective, like what's your thoughts on that, on where Ether could go from a place of value?
So I think it's very high. In some ways, I haven't done like math on that lately. So for disclosure, and we've talked about this before, that we have material stake in Ether as well. Yeah. Like you mentioned earlier, the media loves Bitcoin because it's easier for consumers or readers to understand that, and they harp on that, and that makes sense. But what's less talked about and less known is that we are huge fans of Ether, or Ethereans, if you will, in the slang. So look, I think Ether has tremendous capabilities because Bitcoin's digital gold, right? It's sort of moving value from A to B, and there doesn't seem to be a huge appetite in the community to experiment or sort of screw it up, right? It's like, we've got a good thing going. Let's not run too fast. Let's not be too exotic. Whereas Ethereum is like it's a decentralized operating system. So the promise is that you can create these applications on top of it, permissionless. The same way you could build an application, I don't know about anymore, but back in the day, you could build a company on top of Facebook. So companies like Zynga, which actually IPO'd and was worth, I think, at least $1 billion, was a company built on top of Facebook. So most companies today are built on top of a cloud computing service like Amazon. So you rent space from Jeff Bezos and Amazon. Ethereum is a decentralized Amazon where you can build your applications there and you run the computing power by owning Ether. Instead of running your credit card through Amazon Cloud, AWS Web Services, you just pay the network in Ether. It's not centralized. It's not a company. It's a decentralized network, and you can you could create decentralized Twitter on it. You could create decentralized Facebook, decentralized whatever. No one can stop it. No one really controls it. It's owned by the users. That's the beauty of cryptocurrency, is that the value accrues to the people who use the network, not just a few people in a company in Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
So, Ether's got to upgrade. It's moving to ETH2. There's some scalable things that it's got to work through. But like, I'm an optimist, and the smartest folks in the room are working on it. So if Ether is your global computer in the future, what's that worth? It's got to be a ton, and it's got to be worth as much as digital gold, I would think, maybe more.
Did you catch that? If Ethereum succeeds as being an open source base layer for decentralized applications around the world, what is that worth?
What's that worth? It's got to be a ton, and it's got to be worth as much as digital gold, I would think, maybe more.
Okay, so if Ethereum is worth as much as digital gold, well, that would mean that it would also take a $9 trillion market cap. So today, Ethereum has a market cap of 80 billion. So 90 trillion divided by 80 billion equals a 112 times increase. Ethereum's price today is 700 times 112 equals over $75,000. So a $500,000 Bitcoin and a $75,000 Ethereum. Do you agree with this? Do you disagree with this? Do you think that Tyler Winklevoss is a good person to follow in the space? I do. I follow him. Here's the thing. Obviously, investing in cryptocurrency comes with risk, and anything can happen. And Ethereum is riskier than Bitcoin. We understand this. But if there's one takeaway that you can glean from this video, take away this. We can see how the perception and the rhetoric and the education around the cryptocurrency market is developing. So invest accordingly. Well, make your own decisions, but invest accordingly. At least that's what I'm doing. This bull market is just getting started. We keep you informed on a daily basis, meaning make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on all, and I'll see you in 2021.